Hey guys, Ryan here with a bit of a different video than my usual stuff. With this video going up, that will mean that we've hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is kind of cool, I guess. If you've been following this channel for any extended amount of time, you'll probably know that I could not care less about the numbers or the views. I'm going to be doing this stuff anyway. And, you know, in my mind, if my tutorials or review of a product or anything I share helps one person to either make a decision on buying something or kind of put them on a better path as far as music production or sound experimenting goes, then it's been worth my time. And ultimately, I enjoy doing it. I'm going to keep doing it as long as I enjoy doing it. But it is definitely awesome to see that 5 digits worth of people thought it was entertaining or valuable enough to keep coming back. So I greatly appreciate that. And, you know, I can't say thank you enough in ways that really matter. So I thought a cool way to go about it would to show just how much your guys' support actually helps. With ad revenue and all that stuff. Obviously, it's not life-changing money if you're in the, you know, less than 10,000 subscriber arena, but it definitely helps make this channel possible, and it makes my life so much easier. So, you know, I get it. I hate sitting through even a 15-second ad on many videos, especially shorter videos. And for mine, I try not to over-monetize the piss out of it. I try to do something that, with everything I do, not just in monetization, but with videos in general, I try to do something that as a viewer, I wouldn't mind, or that I would want to see from other content creators. But for those of you that don't ad block and don't do any of that kind of stuff, I wanted you to know that your support actually goes somewhere, because I tallied up the numbers and I actually had enough ad revenue over the past couple of years that you guys have directly funded, I think 19 videos it was. And that doesn't even include all the auxiliary stuff that's happened. There's no doubt in my mind that if it weren't for this channel, I wouldn't have been able to make some of the friendships I have. I wouldn't have been able to have a badass custom guitar built for me by someone whose job I can't praise enough, and who I really hope we continue to have a working business relationship in the future. And, you know, with the whole side project thing I got going on with Seedrum and plenty more musical endeavors that I'm currently working on, I've sold more copies of those songs than I could have ever done in any other fashion if it weren't for the support of these viewers and, you know, just getting the word out through this channel. And some of you guys are absolutely batshit crazy. Your donations are absolutely ridiculous. I didn't tally that up, but they are very much appreciated, and know that they are going towards ultimately the channel. I mean, I'm reinvesting all this stuff back in. And if you did pay over some of these ridiculous amounts that I've seen, it will be worth your while. Everything from here on out, I will definitely be sending free stuff for those that have been equally as generous. So yeah, I mean, that's about as best of a thank you I can give, to show you exactly what you've accomplished, what you've helped me accomplish through sitting through god-awful advertisements and you know, your comments. The more longtime viewers out there will know that I don't really do any like consistent Q&As or weekly FAQ videos, because I feel most of the time it's just a waste of time for a lot of content creators. And my mantra has always been, if you're going to take the time out of your day to ask an intelligent question, something that you legitimately could use help for, then I should take a few minutes out of my day to answer it if I can. And there'll be plenty of days that I can do that, where, you know, maybe I'll only get a couple comments here and there. There'll be some days with a new video release that it's just page after page after page, and I can't keep up with it. So apologies if I don't get back to you directly, but, you know, if you do have an actual question, I will try to point you in the right direction, even if I don't know it. With that, of course, there's trends, you know, there's plenty of, common comments. So to answer a couple recent ones that I've seen, number one, you know, a lot of people will ask, well, can you get to do this product? Or, you know, with like the Tone Engineer series I've started, can you do this band? Yada, yada, yada. And the simple answer is maybe, but probably not. I do have a limited budget, and I do not have an unlimited amount of gear. Of course, I'd love to cover, you know, all my favorite bands ever. I'd need several of these rooms to do so, with just the sheer amount of amps and guitars and that kind of stuff. But if I have something that can get close, then, you know, and I'm actually interested in the sound, then I will definitely try to chase after it. And if it's something I think it's worthwhile sharing in terms of a product review, then that's what I'm going to do. Ultimately, I try to make stuff that I would want to see as a viewer. So I'm inherently biased in that way, but if it's say a Mesa Boogie amp that I have, or something like a Marshall derivative that I'll hopefully get fairly soon, then there's a good possibility that I could probably get to it. Some viewers have also pointed out a perceived drop in production quality, and that is true because I moved into this space about 6 months ago, and there's been some growing pains in terms of getting the color right and trying to combat the reflections off the room. This isn't a terribly large room to be recording in. In terms of video, my last apartment I lived in was actually a bit better just because of the more sporadic lighting, and with this, if I had these blinds open, it would be god awful, but it's also, you know, a little too artificial with studio lights. So this won't be permanent, but this could be, you know, for another good 3 to 6 months. I'm not quite sure, but either way, just help me, you know, tolerate this for a while, try to make the best of it. I did upgrade microphones, so hopefully it isn't quite as bad, and I've been doing a little bit more post-processing work than usual to try to, you know, tame some of the awful reverb in here. But otherwise, you know, I can't really do a whole hell of a lot about it. Doesn't really make sense to put a bunch of soundproofing in this room when I'm going to be out of here fairly soon anyway. So just help me stick with that for the time being, and, you know, all the stuff that really matters in terms of the guitar production, all the sound bites, that kind of stuff, that will still be as high quality as ever. Finally, I guess I'll touch on some of the broader themes and comments I've been receiving over the past couple of months. And unfortunately, I think the people that really need to hear this part aren't going to be here anyway, because, you know, they're probably not even subscribed or just don't give a shit enough to watch this, and that's fair. But I think at least people that do care will understand where I'm coming from, and hopefully kind of put into context why I make some of the stuff I make or why I don't in others. And like I said, it more or less boils down to I want to make the stuff I would want to see as a viewer. And with that comes more variable controlled experiments, or more head-to-head comparisons, or objective reviews, or using it in use cases that I want to see. And in that way, it's inherently flawed and biased because it's what I want to see, but that's the best thing I can do. It's the most genuine thing I can do. If I did otherwise what I thought would just be the most views, then I'd be out there doing gent memes and you know, what everyone else is doing that's in the top whatever tier of guitar YouTubers. That's just not me. I want to see what some guys in like the tech review space are doing and apply that to here. I want to cover certain bands I like talking about, and if you don't like it, I really the best piece of advice I can give you is just don't watch, because I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and I'm a flawed human being, so I can't do everything as efficiently as possible, everything as you know, flawless as possible. I'm not going to play every riff 100% correctly. I might miss an edit. I might go on a tangent for a bit longer than is probably necessary, but that's my content, that's my stuff. So I'm absolutely all about constructive criticism. That's kind of the whole point of this channel. When I talk about different products or dialing in different tones, it's all about how can we make this better. And you know, I love that. I want to engage in that kind of conversation. However, if you're going to start a comment off with, say, insulting someone's appearance, do you really think this is the outfit or haircut of someone that gives a shit the way they look? Or more in general, just exude the emotional intelligence of someone who's a cast member of the Jersey Shore, then I'm just going to ignore it, because it's a waste of your time, it's a waste of my time, and it's just pointless in my opinion. And you know, at the end of the day, what I'm doing and what every YouTube content creator is doing, it's free. I know a lot of you are blocking ads, so in that case, it's absolutely free. But otherwise, you gotta sit through, you know, 5 to 15 second, oftentimes skippable advertisement, and then at that point, it's just your time. And if your time's that valuable to you, then you can always skip through stuff. I've been known to do it myself, which is why I focus on the parts of the content that I don't skip through a lot of the times. When it comes to repetitive guitar riffing or soloing, I skip through a lot of it because I kind of get the freaking idea of the tone they're going after. And I know a lot of people don't like that. That's what you're gonna get with my channel. But at the end of the day, it always surprises me how much people are willing to criticize something they get for free. And like I said, I'm always open to constructive criticism, but just absolutely bashing something that, you know, they're paying no money for, it blows my mind oftentimes. And of course you see that everywhere, whether it be guitar related or not. So I guess my overall response to any of those kind of comments or any of those sentiments, especially from a longtime viewer, would be, you know, if you think you can do it better, tell me how. Tell me how intelligently. Let's make this a constructive conversation. Calling me a fucktard is probably not a good place to start, but let's try to do that. And if you're still unhappy, then I'd urge you, if you think you can do it better, if you think that you can out Leon Todd, or out Arnold plays guitars, or out Ola England, then I would genuinely, no sarcasm, urge you to go buy your own equipment and your lav mic and show us what you know, because it would be for the betterment of everyone. So seriously, if you think you can do it better than someone else, I think you need to do it. But ultimately, I'm going to make what I know how to make, what I want to see, and it's going to be flawed. A lot of people aren't going to want to see it, but just from the, you know, genuinely nice feedback I get, there's obviously a spot for it, or I wouldn't do it. So keep that in mind, whether you're watching a niche channel or you're diving into any, I hate to use the word, but community that may not speak to everyone. You know, there's probably an element of that. And if it doesn't quite tickle your fancy, that's not a bad thing. More choices is good. I guess the only other thing I wanted to discuss today is kind of a roadmap for the channel. I hate using that word too. It's been corrupted by the video game industry. But simply put, I have about 1.5 to 2 years worth of ideas for the channel floating around somewhere out there on an Excel spreadsheet. Will I get to all of them? Hell no. Are they all high priority? Absolutely not. There's plenty of them that are, though. There's a lot of them that if I don't get to them, if I don't make a video, I will drive myself crazy thinking about it, because that's just the kind of person I am when it comes to creative endeavors like this. If I get past that initial concept stage where I can actually start planning it, it's my favorite part of it, then it just like, it has to happen. And once I'm done, I'm done. I don't think about it ever again. If I make the video, upload, I don't ever watch it. It's out there, it's done. And I feel fulfilled at that point. But until then, it's like, it drives me insane. So there's a lot of it that's gonna happen. I can tell you there's gonna be plenty more episodes of Tone Engineer, Pedal Head, some tutorials, course reviews sprinkled in there as stuff comes out that I'm interested in, and plenty more ideas that I know I've not had yet that will, you know, be part of the content package. With that said, I can totally see a point in the future, not the foreseeable future, but sometime way out there, where maybe I hit all those check boxes, maybe all the things I wanted to accomplish are done, and maybe I can say mission accomplished. And to be clear, I've already smashed through all the things that I thought I would be able to do, and that's, you know, obviously thanks to you guys for supporting me in that. But, you know, I could see a point where it's like, yeah, I've kind of covered everything I wanted to do. I'm kind of comfortable with where I am musically, and I kind of want to do something different for a while. It's how I am. Generally, I'm really invested in something for a long time, and then I need to change gears. So I guess what I would say to longtime viewers is I'm going to be doing this for a while, but I can definitely see some time where, you know, let's say I'm good now. I don't want to be one of those channels that like fizzles out and goes out with a whimper. I've been part of many viewer bases where that happens, where, you know, it's like banging content, great videos, and then they don't upload for a month, they don't upload for 2 months and 6 months and a year, and they come back with an apology video, and then no one cares anymore. And that's not what's going to happen here. I want to have everything in a consistent and reliable manner in terms of putting out videos, and then maybe someday we'll change gears. But for right now, what I'm doing is what I'm sick to doing, because I'm ultimately enjoying it. So I'd say that about wraps it up. I greatly appreciate you watching this video as well as any other video. If you think, whether you're a longtime viewer or more recent, you know, if you find this content worth clogging up your inbox and subscription feed, then I very much appreciate it. And if you like it so much that you want to support me in some way, keep an eye out on my Bandcamp links in the description. I'll try to make like some sort of announcement video every time there's a new song or new project of some sort. But other than that, you know, views and just hanging out is awesome enough for me. So genuinely, thank you. And I guess that'll about do it. So if any questions, anything I can answer, as always, please leave them down below, and we will see you next time. Bye.